What if I told you we invented a completely new method to automate 3D printers? After 1 year of development, countless prototypes, and one custom PCB later, FarmLoop Stage 2 is finally here. Remember how Stage 1 couldn't handle big parts with large surface areas? Well, we just made your printer bend its own build plate to pop off any part. This isn't just another plate swapper. We engineered active plate bending with a linear actuator that turned your A1 or A1 Mini into an unstoppable production machine. And here's where it gets crazy. I will show you how to build this yourself with off-the-shelf parts. No gatekeeping, no secrets. In the next couple of minutes, you will see the dance between hardware and software, discover what prints it can handle, and find out what that mysterious second actuator plug does. Let's dive in. If you're new here, I'm Jan, a world record-breaking engineer who runs the most automated 3D print farm in Switzerland. Together with my best friend, we quit our engineering jobs to prove one thing, that any maker can turn their printer into a profitable business if you automate the right way. Before we go into the implementation of Stage 2, we should have a quick look on where we're at with FarmLoop. Stage 1 for the A series, released. Thousands are using it. It works with roughly 60% of parts. The fan upgrade bumps it up to 70% due to controlled shrinking. Stage 1 for the X and P series work for 80% of parts thanks to passive bending. But today, everything changes. Stage 2 for the A series jumps up to 90% success rate by combining active bending, cooling and pushing. And before you ask, yes, Stage 2 for the P and X series is coming. There's a sneak peek at the end of this video. After that, we will expand to the H series and other brands like Prusa, Elego, Creality and many more. If you want to see Stage 3, you better like and subscribe. Enough roadmap talk. Let me show you how Stage 2 actually works. The idea behind Stage 2 is as simple as it gets. What do you do after a print is finished? You try to just take it off. That's actually Stage 1, lifting the part. If that does not work, you will take out the plate and manually bend it. And that's actually the whole idea of Stage 2. Cannot be too hard, right? Well, fail, fail, fail. We need to hold down the plate somehow during the process. It definitely took some iterations, but then it just worked. Time to replace my fingers with some PETG ones. But here comes the tricky part. The activation of the linear actuator has to be timed perfectly. If it pushes too early, your build plate can crash into the actuator. So we engineered a simple solution. A limit switch that talks to your printer. The FarmLoop app can teach the limit switch how to speak G-code. This way the actuator knows when to move. But these components need a brain to actually understand the signals. That's the microcontroller, an ESP32. Small, powerful and perfect for this job. The last puzzle piece is a motor driver, which let the brain control the linear actuator. It is needed since the actuator runs on 24 volt and the microcontroller on 3.3 volt. Now add a cooling fan for fast plate cooldown, wire it all up and… Actually wait, look at this mess of cables. This is exactly the reason why we spend so much time designing something better. Meet the farm board. All that spaghetti, gone. Every component, every connection, every safety feature integrated into one clean PCB. Just plug in the cables and you're done. And the best part? The whole system runs off your printer's AMS port. No external power supply needed, no wall adapters. It's like Bambu Lab always knew we would need a second AMS slot. And what about that mysterious unused slot on our farm board? Wait for it. And if you still want to build it yourself, I've linked the part list and the wiring diagram in the description below. Just give me a like for giving away all the secrets. Before we put the complete system together, a quick shout out to PCBWay, who manufactured the farm board. I always wanted to create custom PCBs for my projects, and has never been easier than today, thanks to the services of PCBWay. Here's what blew my mind. You upload your design, pick your specs, and 1 to 2 weeks later the finished product arrives at your place. You can start innovating. For all the makers watching this, they do not only do PCBs, but also 3D printing, CNC and even injection molding. And one thing I forgot to mention, our farm board comes pre-flashed with the right firmware so you can start looping right away. Now let's put it together. We start with the corner pieces and slot in the support arms. These aren't just structural, they are also your cable management system. The PCB slides right into place. The linear actuator clicks in here and the fan mounts right there. And the limit switch cable plugs right in. Wait, something is missing. Ah yes, the printer. We mount the limit switch on top of the Z-axis and slot in the fan duct. And we're good to go. You have an A1 Mini? Same story, same kit. Here H2D can come in handy to push out all the parts in one night. Now it's finally time for testing. Speaking of which, we have been testing Stage 2 for a month now on our own farm. But we didn't just trust our own testing. 50 prototype units went out exclusively to our school community members, who pushed the system harder than we ever could. With their feedback, we're able to go from a prototype to a battle-tested system. Here's how you can use it. There are actually two options. Option 1. Slice your file in Bamboo Studio like normal. Export as plate sliced file and upload it to the FarmLoop app. Select Stage 2. It will do all the work for you by removing the purge line, activate the fan, inject the activation G-code and start the pushing routine. Then you just select how many pieces you need and off it goes. It works with boxes, articulated toys and of course benchies. But not only one, but an army of benchies. Option 2 is where it gets interesting. In the last video we talked about the impact of farm management software. We've implemented SimplyPrint in our farm and they've actually integrated FarmLoop into their auto-print feature. And that's not all. They even added a bat check AI that can detect if detachment was successful. Every system can fail. But if you have AI to check in between prints, it can stop the print in between loops. This makes it the most intelligent and reliable system on the market. If you run a farm, just select FarmLoop within SimplyPrint and profit from their bat check AI. The link is in the description below. A short story before I tell you where you can get this kit. 3 years ago, when I started my 3D print business, I had to ramp up production of 6 of my Enver 3s in my basement. I was working full-time and couldn't keep up with the side hustle. That's where I developed the first and trivial automation. Let's call it Stage 0. It was the main enabler to grow my little farm to 30 printers today. That is projected to make 500,000 this year. And with Stage 1 and Stage 2, the system has matured. And it will be an enabler if you're looking to start and grow your business. Now to the most important part. How can you implement the system yourself? The easiest way is to get the Stage 2 kit from our website. There will be an early bird launch discount for the first 100 kits. While the kit is on the way, you can start printing the parts which are on MakerWorld. After putting everything together like I did before, you can use our FarmLoop app for pre-processing or use SimplyPrint's integration. If you want to build it yourself, I've collected all parts that you need. If you get them on Amazon, it is actually more expensive than our kit. AliExpress might be the way to go then. The part list, code for the microcontroller and the G-code snippet for your printer, all free as well. Just give me a boost on MakerWorld. And now, what is that mysterious plug on our farm board? See for yourself. That's actually the door opener for the X1 Carbon, P1S, P2S, H2S and H2D. But that's not all. You will be able to use the complete build volume with Stage 2 for the bigger brothers of the A series. As you can see, we're just getting started. Early prototype kits will be released to our school community exclusively before we go public. Comment below on what printers you want to see our FarmLoop system, and we will adjust our rollout order accordingly. Happy looping, 3D farmers!